Moving on to the US now, where the controversial reality series Toddlers and Tiaras is making headlines once again.
Yeah, in the clip aired on this week's episode, 8-year-old beauty queen Daisy May has shocked audiences after making these alarming comments.
I'm helping you, woman.
Facial beauty is the most important thing in life and in pageants.
She looks great.
If you think your kid is ugly or something, you might not want to do pageants because you're not going to win or anything.
Oh, the show follows the wacky world of children's beauty pageants and has caused an outcry from many who believe it encourages the sexualisation of young girls.
Yeah, so is this an all-time low for this show? Joining us now from Adelaide, women's advocate Melinda Tankard-Reist, and in Brisbane we have teen psychologist Dr Michael Carr-Gregg. Good morning to you both. Melinda, first up, we've already seen the tantrums and the inappropriate costumes. We've spoken to you about this before, but to see the child making these sorts of comments, what do you reckon? Is this just going too far now?
Look, I think the whole child beauty pageant phenomenon was always one step too far. What this child is doing is she's echoing everything that she has absorbed in this toxic pageant world. She has absorbed the importance of a looks-based culture. She has absorbed the competitive nature. She is already, at only 8 years old, judging girls, judging her fellow contestants on the basis of who's beautiful and who's ugly, according to the definitions that she's absorbed in this show. So it's not actually the child's fault. She's just acting out, echoing what she has picked up in this toxic world.
Michael, we'll bring you in here. I mean, it's an attitude, isn't it, that's being fed to them by their parents. As Melinda said, they're absorbing what's around them.
Fed and nurtured, of course, by a society which sells these kids prostitute dolls to play with, padded bras, high-heeled shoes and children's lingerie. So the whole thing is one big sort of snowball which pushes kids towards this. I find it so hard, and I agree completely with Melinda. This kid is a true victim.
Michael, I know you'd be terribly concerned with the long-term psychological repercussions here, because these young girls don't wake up one day and go, I just don't want to do that anymore. This is going to damage them for a long, long time.
Well, now there are 3 major reports and more that basically associate this sort of early sexualisation with very significant depression, body image problems and eating disorders. I am calling upon some Australian politician to take the lead of the French Senator Chantal Gounod, who recently came out and called for a complete ban on beauty pageants for kids under the age of 14, a ban on padded bras and lingerie. Where is the Australian leadership on this issue?
Melinda, what about this show, Toddlers and Tiaras? It's been around for a while now. It's obviously rating. People are obviously watching it because it is still around. Does the show have any sort of responsibility?
What's disturbing when you watch this show is you see little girls preening, strutting, practising their come-hither looks. You see a show where a mother castigates her child for not acting sexy enough for the judges. This has become a program where you feel like you're watching a train crash. The tragedy is it's children that are being damaged in the process. I'd love to be able to point out to your listeners this morning that this is not just an American phenomenon now. It needs to be well known that pageant culture has been imported to Australia. We've now had the Toddlers and Tiaras culture shows in Gold Coast, in Melbourne, and June the 16th they're coming to Sydney. And so I would love for people to sign up to our Australians Against Child Beauty Pageants Facebook page to show their disgust that this toxic culture is being imported to Australia. Our kids don't need this. Our kids are having enough struggles already with body image dissatisfaction, depression, anxiety, self-harm, low self-esteem, poor academic performance. We don't want any more of these pageants in Australia, so we would love for people to sign up and get on board with this movement protesting pageants in Australia.
OK, thank you, Melinda. Just give us that Facebook page again, the name.
Australians Against Child Beauty Pageants.
OK, thank you, Melinda, and also Michael Carr-Gregg. Thank you too.